Like,
It
honestly.
does enough because again, if he's also facing this direction and he has to turn
Okay,
around,
the
again,
spin would mean a lot there.
I'm curious to test it now.
Let's do it.
I'm curious to jump into game and have a look.
5 minutes later.
Right, so Castor's parrot was positioned roughly in this area,
Yeah.
so he still had a sight line on
He
the
definitely
medic.
had a sideline on that.
So I think he could have positioned himself slightly lower so that he's not risking the shell bumping the building. Then you just angle down, rough him out.
Ladies and gentlemen, big welcome to the third episode of Competitive Breakdown, the show where we analyze in great detail the best battles in the Hogs of War competitive. Today, I'm joined by Pinstripe, aka Papa Pin, or as I like to call him, Pinny Boy. We are looking into IceFlow, Game 3 of the Castor vs Revan quarterfinal of the Season 4 in the Hogs of War League. Please feel free to take part in the discussion in the comment section and enjoy the video. Okay, so from now on, we are recording, so you don't have, you may not say secret stuff about Reheated.
Yeah. Hey everybody.
Hey everybody, let's talk about Reheated. Yahoo! Alright, so in today's episode, we're gonna have a deep look into Castor vs Revan, third game in IceFlow. And once again, thanks to ADB for the suggestion of the map. And Pinstripe, since you did actually comment the game, what do you recall about the game, if anything?
If anything, it is it is kind of a blur. I know it was fairly straightforward. If you hit play now, so we can see kind of what Revan goes for. Yeah, he does. Okay, so he goes med, double para, single sapper, and a gunner. So his is not bringing the pairing, which is fine. Medic on IceFlow, I find, is situational at best. I mean, the spawns are usually set, but sometimes you'll find that the medic won't be in the right spot to get that first turn advantage. And
I feel like it's a good 60% of the time you can get some value out of the medic. So if it really is all about what map do you get, especially in this best of 5 scenario, which is even more important. But I feel like medic in IceFlow can swift the tempo to your side, especially if you go second.
yeah, and I guess considering this is round 3 as well of the best of 5, I mean, Castor is significantly on the back foot, so this is a must-win round for him. But overall, Revan at this point was in the driving seat, and IceFlow being so unpredictable. I mean, both players are bringing exactly the same lineup, but in a different, slightly different format. Because Castor is not
Let's
going
have a
with
quick
double
look on
powers.
Castor's lineup also.
Yeah, Castor is not. He's not going with double power. He's putting the sapper in third, and they're both bringing a gunner. So they are using that single gunner in round 3, which is fine for IceFlow because I actually found it to be quite effective when I did actually beat Nicholas on IceFlow somehow. I had my gunner, I think, in last, and he only had a single turn, which I used to kill him. But in turn, I brought one of Nicholas's sappers down from full health to down to, I think, in the 40s or 30s, and poisoned as well. So he is effective, but it's, again, just based on the position that you can get him in. So it is also Castor going first as well, as you'll see from the aborting. So it
should be Castor going first. Yeah, I do remember that. And yeah, they do play basically with the same lineup, just the para is back to back in Revan's lineup, and Castor is not.
Still waiting.
What about the gunner in this map? What do you think?
I think if you're able to keep the gunner on the high ground and remain defensive, again, I'm using my match against Nicholas as a kind of reference point, because I wanted Nicholas to kind of forget that the gunner is there, which a lot of players seem to do. Like, the gunner is always sort of the last pig to be targeted in a way because he's not useless, but compared to everybody else, he's very linear in his approach. So if you can keep him on the high ground in that top, if we have a look at the mini map, you keep him sort of in this this corner over here. I forgot I've got the pen. Yeah, so effectively anywhere in this space is kind of where you want to keep your gunner so that you can then rain down shells on everyone that's kind of on the low ground. And if you get knocked into any of the sort of poison water, that's when you then sort of close the gap and maybe look to not necessarily suicide, but look to deal as much damage as you can and maybe take yourself out in the process if you're at risk of kind of losing a turn.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but what about what about this area then? Oh,
oh, I forgot.
Yeah, we're both in control, so we have to
yeah
be a little patient. So what about this area then?
I find that area is also viable, but you are. I don't know. Yeah, it's either going to be in that corner or in this corner. The stretch in between is not as safe, I guess. You're not as well protected by trees.
Yeah, I can agree on that one. It feels a little bit too thin, If you have the gunner and place it somewhere.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we definitely need to take turns on this.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you have a good depth like here and here, it's gonna be quite safe. But this is like too thin for me.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a weirdly slippery area that if you're able to, you can easily push players off with a single rifle shot if they're positioned in the right spot, just to push them down. And it's normally guaranteed to be poison, at least. So
Right.
We'll let Castor move if you want to carry on talking.
Yeah, I mean, I usually feel like the first few turns are the heaviest in a game.
Yeah.
Like the most important. Oh, I forgot to mute my phone. That's so unprofessional.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, the first turns of kind of setting yourself up, whether you're going first or second, like the biggest advantage that Revan has there with not having the Murmur is, of course, that he keeps those tranquilizers for later, which, as we'll see, I think, going later on into that match, it does work out fairly well for him. I honestly can't remember who wins this round. I think it's Castor, I think, from what I can remember. But yeah, that wasn't the best move, as you can tell from his spamming at the start.
The beautiful sunroof.
Yeah, but then he does clean it up kind of nicely. He does get a little bit of self-damage, but at least he still gets the pig into the area that he wanted him to be. The house is so awkward of a place to try and get the jetpack and whatever weapon combination, because, again, against Nicholas, I had that perfect turn start where he had two of his pigs positioned next to house. In fact, in front of house as well. So as you may have seen from my first turn, I did exactly what Castor did there and then tried to move forward. But for some reason, the collision on the house stopped me from actually firing my bazooka. I have no idea why, but it almost cost me the entire game. And you can see now, as Castor has that position, that sapper where he wants him to be, he is then going to continue this, trying to get the skip turn, which... His placement here is not the best. In fact, if I just go back a little bit and we just analyze his placement here.
Yeah, remember that you have also keyboard, so you can use the arrow to go back 5 seconds.
Okay. So yeah, if we pause it there, you can see that the distance that he is from that pig will look to be pushing him sort of in this area. But if I'm trying to think what, because it's not bad by any stretch of the imagination, but if it were me and I'm trying to get the most out of this turn, we just kind of look at his position when he looks at the pig. So he's taking out the TNT, he's looking at kind of where the best zone is to get the most out of the poison. I would honestly be aiming for kind of around here. The middle point, which is where you're near enough guaranteed to get a kill, which is difficult, but if, again, I'm going to back it up once more, just to finish this off.
But actually, does he want the kill?
No, I'm guessing he is looking for the skip, but if it were me, I guess he doesn't want to get the kill either, because, that would reverse the MoMA. So
Yeah, because Castor is in this situation when he needs to be very careful on kills and stuff and
yeah,
order,
but I'm my opinion on like MoMA and the MoMA switch and kind of trying to avoid that in this situation where, especially when you look at the minimap down here, if he kills this sapper, he's out of the game and he's effectively dominating this low ground. Yes, Revan would then have the MoMA, but at the same time, in the long run, as I've mentioned, you don't necessarily want to be using all of your tranquilizers one after the other. I think it's only becoming very specific situations now where that is kind of viable. Or at least, I don't know. In my mind, I'm trying to shift away from the boring, like, medic on medic, I'm going to tranquilize you constantly sort of thing. And if that switches up, trying to adapt to your opponent then having the MoMA and gaining those skip turns. Because, skip turns are incredibly important. They win you games, but when you then run out of tranquilizers and the medic is still alive, that's when things can shift. But I think the biggest problem that Hogs has when it comes to MoMA is, okay, that was unexpected. It just flew away. I mean, that was a beautiful, beautiful jetpack. One of the best of the season, if I'm honest, because you see how much damage he gets from it too. Insane.
Yeah.
And then the bazooka, which is even better. So he got like a solid, if not 55, then close to 60 there, damage-wise.
You were saying about the problem of... I was kind of curious to see where you were going with this discussion.
Yeah, I was thinking about it last night, just how ADB's method on Cold Front, that's an adaptation of dealing with the MoMA. Like, ADB went first on that map with his scout and was able to collect a healing item. And as soon as your pig that isn't a medic holds a healing item, you can potentially dominate the opponent gaining the MoMA if you are able to kill their 5th pig in their lineup before the medic then takes his turn again. Because
so many
rotation order returns to the medic, but in your opponent then taking their turn with the med, they're kind of locked into not really being able to tranquilize anybody because you have 2 pigs coming up who are able to heal. So it's I'm talking about all this sort of like adaptation of the MoMA and stuff, but I guess in reality it's only situational that you can adapt to it in that manner because you require a map that has healing items, whereas IceFlow obviously doesn't. So yeah, I don't know. But as we're watching this, you can see that Revan he's not dealing with the medic. He's dealing with everybody else and kind of trying to put Castor on the back foot with the damage that he's dealing. And this was an okay turn from Castor. He almost got the skip. And he then pushes himself back up again. So that was kind of nice. But you can see with that kill, which I'm guessing he wasn't intending to do, the MoMA does then reverse. And yeah.
I wanna just say, what a crazy mortar was from this guy who is getting healed now.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
I think this map, this highlights Revan's his drive and determination. Like he was saying to me, I think after the tournament, really, after the season finished, that he tried to approach it in the same way that Iron Fox did, in just a cool, casual approach, not taking things too crazy or seriously, because that's usually when you end up making mistakes. So
that's true. But I feel like when you go to playoffs and you get far to the playoffs, you kind of win because you had the better day. if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You don't always win because you're just the best and the most consistent. You just win because you're in the zone at the right moment. And Revan definitely had that.
Yeah, with this shot, very much so as well, because he had barely any time
Yeah.
and he was able to get the right angle, the right amount of power, gets the damage. Sadly, doesn't get the poison either, but that kind of cemented to me at that point in time that Revan was going to go on and win this. Regardless of how this round went, it very much felt like he had all of the momentum. And there's this sort of weird momentum shift or feeling that you can get from players during matches when you can tell that they know exactly what they're doing at any given time, and then you kind of compare that to their opponent. I mean, you can see that this is a perfect counter from Castor, and he's not giving up by any stretch of the imagination, but there are really small mistakes like that where he's self-damaged himself at least twice now through a bazooka on a paratrooper. Those are the mistakes that you need to avoid. So he almost got the perfect kind of retaliation turn, but then he now is effectively one shot away. And Revan isn't even going to deal with him. The easy kind of tunnel vision that you get with a lot of plays is like, the pig that's just damaged me, I'm going to damage him now. But instead, he now turns his attention to the blimp, who is floating above. But then we have this one, which is not perfect, but it is still damage again and keeping that consistent with every turn. I mean, with the extra splash as well, it's even better. But it's a constant like punch for punch here. And Castor selectively goes for the gunner, which, if I'm honest, it's not a terrible move, but the paratrooper, I think, is maybe a bit more valuable. And he goes into the house as well.
I think he used all the jetpacks there, so maybe the gunner was a little bit more valuable.
Yeah. But what is your opinion on the house? Because every time someone's gone in there, like, it's protection, but as soon as you get your pig into like the center of the map, you can effectively just throw anything in there and it's game over. Like, if you're in there and a grenadier throws a cluster grenade in there, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah.
That's my thought.
Yeah, but there's no really, like, how do you say, there's no really safe places against the grenadier. You just take the shot and hope that you don't die. That they don't die. Maybe the only quote-unquote safe place for against the grenadier would be, and I'm gonna pause the video if I see it anytime soon. Okay, then I'll guess I'm pausing and showing the map. I think, the only place that really is safe is like in this island here, where the structure is like this, and you can place your pig here.
I mean, I see that as being very dangerous, because the knockback potential for you to be blasted into the water that is directly behind and around that building is can be devastating. Like, if you position yourself on the, like, where you're saying, like, actually inside that bit, it's okay, but it's quite easy for you to be nudged out and then like cattle prodded into the water. Or at least that's my thinking. I find that as I'm looking at the minimap, as we've removed the minefields like behind this paratrooper, I feel like that corner is the only quote unquote safe zone in the entire map.
You mean this one?
Yeah, that's the only safe
the only
space.
True safe place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can agree on that, but that leaves you like very out of sight from everything. I mean, this is a place that only a gunner can really take advantage of.
True.
Because you're not gonna do everything. This is like, this map in general is like high melee close combat. Even if it doesn't look like, I feel like the best class you can bring here is paratrooper.
Yeah.
Because you can deal.
You get those easy pushbacks with the jetpacks and
the mobility. Mobility, it's huge. Like,
as we saw from Revan's
Revan,
crazy
like,
jetpack.
Jetpacking from here to here basically and dealing damage.
Yeah,
so
that was so good. That was too good. But yeah, no. Going back to what I was rambling about with medics and the MoMA, I know it's right now the meta is, as Revan is doing, as we saw from his previous turn, is that once you're kind of down to your last tranquilizer, you kind of get away from the that was so good. Get away from the body blocking and kind of leave the medic open to then be hit, which it is the meta, but the more I'm rambling, the more I'm wishing that there were more counters to MoMA, that certain classes had the ability to heal, but I think that just comes down to the limited amount of methods of healing,
I
whether
mean,
it be
I feel like as long as the medic has 3 tranks, the game is gonna be like driven by the tranks. Because you either have the trank and play around it, or you play around it,
yeah,
and you have
And
to adapt to it. And healing items are a good way to to not make this an absolute rule. Or at least you have to be very careful on what you're doing when you're tranking. You might end up tranking the first pig of your opponent's lineup just to get the skip turn and the viable body block to the medic, just because there's the potential from the opponent to get a healing item.
yeah.
So I feel like healing item in the maps are a great addition, because it gives you this other dimension of on the trank meta. But I feel like as long as we don't reduce the amount of tranquilizer in the medic equipment, we will never go out of it completely, which is fine for me, because since we had pig pool, we kind of forced in some games where this interaction is not needed.
I'd agree. I think that, like, if it were up to me, I would be wanting, if it were ever possible, to reduce tranquilizers down to ×1. And
I feel like ×1 could be good.
Yeah,
Very good
×1,
solution.
and then effectively make the multiplayer orderly the single player surgeon. Because he effectively has the same weapons anyway. But I would also look to remove the grenade launcher from the med as well, because for casual players, yes, it's great that you have long range capabilities with every single class, that you're able to get damage away. But I honestly think that for comp, it would be much more interesting if there was more limitations where you played to the class's strengths, i.e. that the sapper is strong at close range but weak at long range, and it should be the same for the medic as well. The medic is not a long range class, but as I mentioned, he has the grenades so that the player can always get some kind of damage away, which is fine for a casual player. But I think for us, a more advanced step would be whoa zooming in.
I'm not zooming, I'm just going back in the video frame by frame. So
Yeah.
and it's actually a zoom out. So I wonder how
Crazy.
this didn't end up with all 3 of the hits.
Well,
So I was
what's
watching now.
interesting is that the previous turn, he decided to tranquilize the sapper, which was great, but I honestly think he should have just focused down the medic. Yeah, so he going all the way back.
Is it only the medic from Revan left? Yeah.
Yeah, it's only the med from Revan. So even the Revan. This game boggled me a little bit, because Revan started so strongly. He dealt all the right bits of damage, but he ended up with a 5v1. Castor had a lot of low health pigs. I mean, the sapper is on 43, eventually drops down to 23 and tranquilized. His gunner's on 40 something and he's poisoned. So the med had the most amount of health. And he was tranquilized, and he could have hit him with a 45 initially, rather than targeting this sapper and going for the tranquilizer. He could have saved his last trank, damaged the medic, dropped him down to 54, and then could have done something. I don't know. Castor's pigs are on like annoying amounts of health, where this is where the house is it's a very good position to be in, because you can't get the easy head jumps and then go for the grenade launcher. So it's not a bad decision to get the 2 turns gained, but it's then how Revan decides to distribute the damage across the rest of the pigs that kind of seals his fate a little bit, because the paratrooper is on 24, so yes, he's easily killable, this guy is poisoned, which he should have really dealt with. I think jumping on his head, but then, of course, again, the medic is alive. So it's like, regardless of what you do, the medic will be able to remove any of the damage, potential damage dealt.
Maybe he did this play to get the other skip turn. Maybe it wasn't the engineer.
Yeah, I suppose.
Maybe.
Yeah, that would bring it up to. But then again, you still got the med on 99. So it's like, at the time, my thinking was that he should have, with the med tranquilized, just deal with the medic as much as you can. Try and, even if it isn't a rifle burst, even just use a grenade launcher to nudge him into the water. Try and bring his health down, kill him before one of the other pigs takes a turn, which I know is kind of a gigantic ask. That's such a big task to do when, again, the pig is on 99 HP. Because even with 2 rifle burst usages that both deal 45 max damage, he's still alive on 9 HP. So, yeah, this is really where Revan needed an additional pig at least to kind of separate the tasks that needed doing for damage and potential skips.
Because it's effectively a 5 versus 1 now.
Yeah, 5v1 somehow.
Yeah. But also, this is not over yet, because there's a 51 pig, which is here, right there.
Yeah,
He's at 51 and poisoned, so maybe he should have gone for, instead of targeting him now, going for a 45 on the 51. But maybe it was the medic's turn, then he could have healed.
Yeah, that was that was my thinking. I thought if he at least got the head jump and brought him down to 50 and then targeted the medic. But I guess if we... Well, let's hit play and see whose turn it is, because the paratrooper has just died.
Yeah.
So
So
whose turn would it be next? Because if it is the medic... Okay, so he does get the skip. So yeah, it was the NG. So yeah, I still feel like it could have been possible to kill the medic, seeing as he had that skip turn anyway. Because if he killed the para, then it must have been the paratrooper next, right?
did he hit all 3 of the shots?
Yeah, he did. 1,
two.
2, 3.
Okay.
Oh wait, did he miss it? No, wait, no, he did get it. Yeah, he's on 54. Yeah, so he brought him down because he was on 99.
54, okay.
Yeah.
That third shot was was quite difficult to spot.
Yeah, but then the other problem here is that was not the best move from Revan a few turns before, where he picked up the rocket launcher, hit this guy, and now he's got a low health pig to deal with. That was probably the weakest of his turns. And seeing as he's got, I think it's at least, okay, he's got 1 jetpack. Yeah, this is where Castor can capitalize and bring him down. Doesn't get any water damage. Yeah, he does get the full 40. I think, is this the point when Revan decides to try and run away? I think it is, yeah. He looks to the high ground. Or does he stay here for another turn?
He has seen the crate coming up. It's like,
Yeah.
I should run away.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, he can get the another skip turn. So it's not the medic's turn yet. So it does really come down to the wire. And I think, yeah, it was good remembrance of the turn order. So now he decides to go onto the high ground.
Yeah,
But
he
this
goes to the high ground. So, I mean,
I don't know. This should have been the point where he stays on the low ground, hits a grenade launcher, because you could easily kill the medic. Like if we just quickly go back to where he left the med. Oh, that's too far, I think. No, it's not. Yeah, so if we look at the medic's position, once I find it.
here it is when he hits the rocket, the grenade launcher on the para. Yeah.
Ah, yeah, yeah. So
No, that's. You want to
well,
go back to the.
we'll see here. Yeah, you see it there. He's right on the edge.
That's after the rifle burst.
Yeah, it's after the right, but that's perfect position to just chuck a grenade launcher into here, push him into any of these areas, and he's dead. Bearing in mind that he gets the skip turn on this guy, which means that it would have been the guy in the house on 13 would have been down to 3. This guy would have been on 8, but instead, as we saw.
No. Wait, you're missing something there. Because he needs to bring down this guy to go in skip range.
Well, granted, but
Okay, so you mean now? You mean now?
Yeah. Now this is when he should have turned around and got the grenade launcher on the med, but instead he takes the harder approach of going onto the high ground and trying to fire off a grenade launcher from there. Which
I see.
It puts the pressure on Castor, but now Castor is able to remove the skip after this because he doesn't get the direct hit. He almost does. I mean, fair play to Revan. He does still get a fairly decent shot away considering the time limit, the position, and who he's aiming at. But he's made it so much harder for himself to hit this. Because if he gets max 30, and all he needs to do is push him forward, he's dead. He is dead, unless he gets a really lucky spin. But now it all crumbles apart. Castor's able to heal and remove poison, and it's kind of straightforward from there. And he also has a rocket launcher. So, just saying.
Yeah, you're actually right. That was the mistake there.
Yeah.
If he deals with the medic, the guy is poisoned, and the other two are like so weak that if you fart behind them, they die.
Yeah. And Castor, I think he hits this. I think he gets like a decent. Okay, no, I think he gets it full 50. Yeah.
Wow.
Which I thought was amazing because he gets it at the right angle, which so many people angle it up, but you need to keep it flat because the rocket is so chunky. It gets it direct, and it was beautiful. So it's from this point that it is effectively game over because of that full 50. And it hurts me so much because Revan could have taken it from a 5v1. He could have brought it back and taken it. Because, again, if the med's dead, you've got the 3 HP poison pig to deal with and an 8 HP pig, while your dude is sat on like 70 odd. So even if the paratrooper got some damage, that was still a beautiful shot as well. I don't know. When you've got a dude, he was positioned on the edge of the island as well. The water was just asking to be blasted in there.
Does Castor actually win this map?
He does, yeah. Only just, but he really has to kind of fight tooth and nail, because as we saw from that previous shot, Revan is deadly accurate with his long range shots, and he almost got the hit on the med on the previous grenade launcher. But the building, of course, was in the way. So if we were playing on the old version of IceFlow, then maybe he would have hit it. But yeah, that's game. That's Castor bringing it back to 2-1. But it quite easily could have been Revan taking it 3-0.
This could have been like a, I was fiddling around with some scenarios taken from from competitive, like let's call them Hogs of War puzzles. No.
Yeah.
This would be a prime example of puzzles. You have this pig with these resources win.
Yeah, and the med, and the fact that he had a very specific amount of tranquilizers, the fact that Castor had X amount of health on so many pigs. Like if that gunner hadn't slipped into the poison water, as I'm sure you probably saw from earlier in the clip, if we go way back, it's from when the gunner was on the island. Okay, so it's a little bit ahead of that. It's when he takes his turn. Okay, he's still there.
So you're searching why the gunner was poisoned, the Castor's gunner?
Yeah, just that momentary mistake from Castor, which we will see after this turn. We'll see from Castor's reaction again of him spamming the. Wait, is it this one? I think it's this one. Should
this guy being on 8.
Yeah, so you'll see from him pausing, like here.
No,
slips in.
No way.
He knows it's going to be a vital mistake, because Revan could have capitalized, which he did with that skip in the end. But it was then how Revan didn't go on to fully capitalize on the 5v1 situation.
Wow.
I think this is a prime example of
details
how
matter
you're still
a
able
lot.
to win a Hogs match with only one pig. If the numbers are against you, you are not out of it by any stretch of the imagination, especially if you've got a medic, as Revan did. Yeah.
I'm trying to stop it, but
No, it's just the tiny bit of land. I'm surprised Castor didn't see it.
I mean, look at it. It's ridiculous. Look, there's like this thingy here.
tiny little
Tiny
amount, but
base.
it's
If you go
just
here, you're
enough.
fine. You work here, you're
Yeah.
fine.
I think it's because he had to fully rotate and then move forward. Like he hadn't moved up until that point. So it's the first point in which he moves. He then immediately slips in.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
by
yeah.
that
I
point, game
mean,
over.
it feels like a jump scare moment. You know when when they put a pickle behind a cat, and sometimes
Yeah.
they just turn around and jump. That's basically it right now.
Yeah, but these are the tiny details that I love about just Hogs in general. How one tiny mistake like this can completely change a match, which
Yeah.
it almost did for the benefit of Castor's opponent. So close.
Wow.
Yeah, bonkers. And I have to see it again. I have to see the. Oh wait, I'm on the wrong one. We have to see it again. Just turns, moves, down, done. Just and it's like if he wasn't poisoned, then it again things would have been drastically in Castor's favor. But the fact that he was poisoned and on 51, that magic number, it's just so specific, but it's it's so circumstantial. But in the end, Castor I think got off very luckily here.
Yeah,
Just
but
based on
it
Revan.
feels like more of a lost win from Revan than a Castor
Yeah,
win.
very
this
very
one.
much so. And Castor there as well with that turn, you could see that he was trying to gain the skip. He had a lack of time. Got the kill anyway, but he was looking to only deal maybe 14 HP at least to drop him down to 10, get the poison skip.
Yeah, wow. This is where actually the puzzle begins.
Yeah, the puzzle starts right here.
That's a,
Which, yeah, I think Trank, good turn, gains the skip, and then everything else that he does from here. The more I'm looking at it, the more I'm like, okay, his decision making here was actually quite good because yeah, getting the kill makes sense. Then gaining the skip on the gunner. Oh wait, no, getting the kill here, then damaging the medic, then getting the skip on the on the gunner. Yeah, it's a lot.
That's wild. That's crazy.
Yeah, 5v1.
The decision making was actually good. I mean, he made just that tiny slip when
Yeah.
he didn't finish off the medic. But if he did that, he was just okay. He was just done.
Yeah, especially getting the full amount of damage there as well. Like that is difficult to pull off.
Actual
And
question: if he killed the medic, it would have been the engineer's turn with 3 or the other guy.
It would have, yeah, it would have been the NG, yeah. But he,
I mean, where do you place yourself to kill the medic if you're the medic now? If you're the blue medic now, what do you do?
well, let's see. So you would, I'd honestly just body block this guy. So remain up here, and then with the trusty old grenade launcher, just fire off a shot that lands roughly here, detonate it there, so that the med is pushed into any of these areas, and that is far away enough to deal the 24 damage that would be needed
And
in order
that's
to kill him.
50. The guy is at 51.
He's at
The
54.
medic 54. Is it
Yeah.
enough to make it with a roller grenade? With a grenade launcher?
Yeah, with a grenade. Yeah, because I mean he'll be down to 24, and then anywhere in this area for him to unless he got pushed like here.
I feel like the grenade launcher doesn't do that much knockback.
It does enough because again, if he's also facing this direction and he has to turn around.
Okay, the spin
Again,
would mean a lot there.
I'm curious to test it now.
Let's do it.
I'm curious to jump into game and have a look.
5 minutes later.
Is your medic still here?
No, he might
Apparently
be. I hope he's not in the top left. He should be all right though. I should be able to make it. Okay, steady.
Okay, there we go.
All right,
And he's
so-
placed like roughly here.
Yeah, near enough.
Hartley up! It's English!
So, Castor's parrot was positioned roughly in this area,
Yeah.
so he still had a sight line on
He
the
definitely
medic.
had a sightline on that.
So I think he could have positioned himself slightly lower so that he's not risking the shell bumping the building. Then you just angle down, rough amount of power. Okay, that wasn't good. I meant to roll it. Let me retry it.
Okay, and maybe I can place this guy instead of.
Yeah. It is possible. I just did too much power.
It is possible, but I think it's not like 100%. But I don't know. Maybe it is more. It is easier than I think.
It is.
and actually harder than you think.
No, I still think it's easy.
It's
I
easy.
still think it's yes. I still think it's possible. It requires you to kind of roll the grenade so that it detonates directly in front of him, in front of the pig, like on the ground, kind of thing. Oh, this is the worst pig. Let me just skip. So I've got a grenade launcher.
Get out of here.
Well, at least your scout is now technically where the
Yeah.
paratrooper would have been.
He's now technically the paratrooper.
Yes. All right. So Mr. Scout is now technically the medic. So take two.
Take two.
We come in. We look to body block the para. Again, it's decent. So I need to go lower, slightly more to the left, and just roll it. There we go. So yeah, again, the spin there. Yeah, the spin
Okay.
there is.
That's way more consistent, I think.
Yeah. So the spin, I think he might have been able to make it if that spin wasn't so awkward.
Yeah, I mean, he
Maybe.
detected the far away island.
Yeah, which was weird, but the spin wasn't so lucky there because he was kind of facing straight forward. So yeah, let's see what happens on this attempt. You might get less. Oh. Okay, it's
51
still
is okay.
3 HP, yeah. But yeah, I think it's the factor of that you're facing like straight forward as well. Wait, don't kill the med. He might be next.
Let's kill him.
No. Jesus Christ. Going in the video.
Just me showing off a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. No, I have to do the same.
Does he
thing
have
now.
the rocket launcher? The grenade launcher?
Yeah, he does.
Okay, good.
Come on, you should know that by now.
Nah, it's not required to know it.
Yeah, I suppose. Alright, so attempt number 3. First attempt, failure because I had too much power. Second attempt, success because the spin was kind of lucky. Third attempt, I'm going to go slightly lower again. Because you kind of want to be pushing him like up to the left a little.
Yeah.
But as long as you get the right roll, which again, see, detonation point is crucial as well. I think all your pigs are kind of. It's only the scout now that has the most amount of health. Can do another demonstration. But yeah, so it requires...
I can fix that.
Oh yeah, that's true. Although you kind of need. Yeah, I guess I could change the angle a little bit.
Nah.
Yeah, try him on 60. I'll try him on 60 and see how we go. Whoa, look at that jump.
Straight like a board. Like
Yeah.
a piece of cardboard.
I think your scout's full health, yeah. Thanks. Well, 1 HP.
One.
That's what I mean.
My job is done here. That's the equivalent of saying, I get you this receipt so you can go get your medicine at the pharmacy.
Oh, it's this guy again. It was useless.
Oh no. Let me kill him. I guess I'm gonna place the spy there also, so.
Yeah, use him as the primary target. Again, it just requires very specific amounts of power and the point in which you detonate, but I think as long as you ensure that the grenade is rolling in front.
Yeah, I mean, if as long as you detonate it in front of him and not over or behind him, that should be a kill.
Should being the key word. Let's have a look. Will it be enough? Yes.
Maybe enough.
So it would have been possible for Revan to kill the med from there, but I think in that situation when you're in the playoffs and you've got to hit that. I mean, but again, it's the decision of, rather than take the much easier approach of remaining here and doing this shot, he went all the way into that corner on the high ground, which is just significantly harder. Even though he did still get it like kind of on target, he could have remained here, body blocked the para, and done that. Which, as we'll see in real time, was just enough. Just enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like everything considered, it would have been a 50-50, you know? Maybe 60-40 to kill him, since Revan was in a really good, momentum.
Yeah.
But in every case, it would have made sense to try and win the map on a 60-40 more than, give your opponent an opportunity to come back. And I mean, those situations suggest me that it's like, oh, I take the charge and win the game, or do I let my opponent do the mistake and hope?
Yeah, but
sometimes the mistake is the right play. Sometimes you should ensure you win. And considering the very borderline situation Revan was in that map, he probably should have tried to win it. It was definitely possible though.
Yeah, especially with the combination of the body block as well, because it's like you get the kill on the med. Your dude is now body blocked next to the paratrooper. So if I was Castor's grenadier coming out of this building on 3 HP, I mean, he could have then suicided. He could have then said, screw it. I mean, this isn't really the best. He doesn't have any weapons that demonstrate the engineer, but you kind of get the point in that these two guys would have been body blocked. Castor's para would have been was on 8 HP. So he and the Revan's medic at that point was on 78. So there was a possibility in killing all 3 pigs that Castor could have just said, screw it.
Was Revan's medic at 78 at that point?
He was, yeah, because he took the 40. He took the 40, which dropped him down, and then Castor hit him later on with the 50 rocket launcher, which brought him down to 28, which he then finished off with the 29 damage.
Then considering that it was the engineer's turn, TNT and water and the paratrooper dying probably could have resulted in him in losing.
It could have, but again, I think that was the only thing Castor could have done after that point, because both of his pigs are low HP, so he would have been forced to go for the draw, which I think was a better situation for Revan than running away. But
he was not forced to go for the draw.
Well,
he could place the PNT and run away with the engineer.
Well, he couldn't, because the engineer would have been on 3 HP. And the engineer was poisoned.
If he kills the medic before it's back to the medic again, to the engineer again, he wins, even if it's 3 health and poisoned.
True, but I think the position of these two. So if I'm
let's test it.
Para, like they're both pointing kind of up the hill, and it's like you can place a TNT. So I guess he would look to blast them both, maybe even down there, maybe into like this area over here.
I feel that's too far, but I probably use this triangle here on your right. Like I probably use this body of water. On the right, left. Like this here,
there?
this little patch here. I would try.
I tell you what, I'll skip. You place your medic where my sapper is, and then it'll be my sapper's turn next, and we can test it. Although you are on very low health. How much is my guy's? I guess okay, yeah. So yours.
The
this
NG is at
medic
75, okay? So the scout is gonna be... This medic is gonna be the para at 8.
Yeah.
A little bit
Yeah,
under, but...
he's effectively dead. Yeah. So if you place him next to the scout, yeah, roughly about there.
You said you're gonna shoot a little bit lower, so let's have the para a little bit higher.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. So this is gonna be the... This is gonna be the para.
Yeah. Because then my scout is on 59. Okay.
75, so that's the...
Yeah, the direction's not really.
It's not really there. I think you also your only option is that patch of water there.
Yeah, but even then, like even placing it here, they'd go in opposite directions. Because there's no real. I'm gonna try this side. I'm curious because I don't think it's enough to like.
Actually,
push.
maybe if you go for the other side and the two pigs land near to each other, then the knockback from the explosion of your pig could lead to the water and the remaining.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah, that's exactly. Oh, yeah, that's
Kind
exactly
of,
where
kind
I
of.
would have wanted him to be. And then, yeah, if the medic was closer, then he could have got the extra splash. But either way, he wouldn't have been on that much low health. The Revan's med would have been on like 20. He would have been on 20 something at least. So
Yeah. At
I don't
least.
know. All of it's very circumstantial, but I think overall it was a crazy round that could have gone one
Either
of
way.
two ways. But it was
Yeah.
fun.
I think we can wrap it up like this, and thank you for joining me in this deep down. We can call it conversation on this map. It was fun also to get on hands and test stuff.
Indeed, it was fun.
Hope you had
yeah.
fun, and hope the viewers learned something.
Fingers
I
crossed.
guess
Sorry.
bye.
I just got random notifications on my screen. Yeah, so yeah, thank you for having me. It has been appreciated. I'm sure we can do many of these in future, given that there'll be so many more rounds and maps to be played.
Yes, I actually intend to invite as many players as possible because it's also fun to look at the approach mentally on a problem from the different players. I feel like if we take basically all the Hogs of War League player, we kinda give the same answer.
The majority of the time, yeah.
Yeah,
because
majority of the time. We flavored differently. Let's say it's gonna be the same dish, but flavored a little bit, garnished a little bit differently,
nice.
which is very interesting to see, to hear. But I could also have like a player from the Grand League or the Mid League if we ever do the Mid League this season, and see how they get react from this kind of problem and how they get the challenge. It's
I
fun.
think you could maybe get specific players in to analyze their own plays as well and their own kind of thinking within a certain match.
I feel like if you, for this format at least, if you watch yourself playing, then you're gonna be spending the most of the time like, oh, I this because of this. You're just gonna be
True, yeah.
here the whole time talking about why I did that instead of what would have been good.
True.
This is why I
Well,
like
either
to
way,
select
I
a
think
play some games where the people talking is not involved.
Yeah. Well, I think that the next one that you and me do has to be the last league match that you and me did. We need to analyze that like ourselves because I am curious to kind of have a deeper dive on that because I want to analyze my own defeats in the league at least to kind of see what people's approaches were that I was playing against. Because our match was just insane for so many reasons, but I'm sure we'll get to that at a later date.
Of course. We can also compare it to the friendly that we did the year before.
Oh yeah, that was 8. That seems like so long ago now.
That could be fun also, but for now, I guess we can wrap up this video and have a lunch.
Yes,
That's also really good. And again, thank you for coming. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you for having me.
And I'll be more than happy to help you with the other video analyzing if you want to do that in the future.
Yes.
Alrighty. See ya!